Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are looking at the NFL Prizepicks plays between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Rams tonight for week number 14 Thursday Night Showdown already. So let's get started. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I have 4 props that I want to give in this video. Or sometimes I'll give 6, but I got 4 that I feel good about. Most of them will be on the Raiders side because the Rams team is just a mess right now, and they're not exactly sure who'll start today because Wolford is questionable. Mayfield was signed, but he's obviously not ready enough to start in just a couple of days, so it'll either be Wolford or probably Perkins. Neither one is a good option, but this Raiders team has been coming on strong. Last game, they pulled off a great second half against the Chargers. Davante Adams went nuts, 2 long touchdowns, and they're still in the mix in the West. I mean, they got to keep winning games, and they have a pretty easy schedule, so it's possible. First prop I'm looking at is Derek Carr's passing yards. It's 247.5. This Rams team is just basically kind of mailed it in. Ramsey's getting burned by every single quarterback pretty much. He's given up. He might be leading the league in most touchdowns given up against, or tied for that. Quarterbacks are attacking him. They're having their way. They think they're 22nd ranked against the pass this year in terms of passing yards against. And Derek Carr, this team will throw the ball. He has one of the best wide receivers in football, top 3 in Davante Adams, possibly top 2. I mean, Jefferson's in the mix there as well. But Davante Adams made one of those catches that he made for a touchdown was absolutely insane. Carr can just throw it up to him, and good chance he'll come down with it. I'm not scared of the matchup. Prizepicks has bumped some of these props down because of the Rams' quote-unquote good defense, but the Rams, they have nothing to play for, and I doubt a lot of their guys on the defense are also veterans, like Ramsey and Donald, so they're probably not looking forward to the last few weeks of the season. So that's the first prop I'm looking at, and then if you have Derek Carr's passing yards, it makes sense to pair him with a receiving yard prop, and that one is going to be Davante Adams, over 89.5. He's come on super strong. 12 touchdowns on the season. He's averaging 132 in his last 5. Pretty easy matchups here, and this one is not as bad as it looks on paper against the Rams. The only one that he didn't have it against was the Seahawks, where he just had 74 yards, but other ones well over 100. Last game almost 200 against the Chargers, and just not having Renfro. Waller's still not ready on a short week, and he's missed already a bunch of weeks. So it's going to be a Davante Adams show once again. I have a ton of confidence that he'll be able to get us at least 90 yards. I mean, I'm expecting another 100-plus yard performance from Davante Adams. So those are 2. You can look to some of these other ones like Josh Jacobs I like a bit. The Rams side, I'm leaning towards like just skipping them or maybe doing some unders. I really don't have a ton of confidence in their receivers just with the quarterback situation there. So those are 2 props. One rushing yard prop that I like is Cam Akers. So last week, they got rid of Henderson. So after all this controversy about Akers early in the season, looks like they're going to lead on him to close out the year. Just let them see what he's got. He had 17 carries last game. The Raiders' defense is middle of the pack against the run, and Akers probably will get a bulk of the carries once again. They have him as their main running back, and then Kyren Williams will get some backup duties. He only had, I think, 3 carries last week just for 9 yards, so they didn't really give him a ton of work. So that makes me feel even better about Akers getting us at least 45 rushing yards. I know Josh Jacobs has just run crazy through some teams. 229 against Seattle, followed it up with 144 after he was questionable against the Chargers last week. So these 3 I really like. Going to the passing touchdowns prop, I mean, if you're not looking at Derek Carr's passing yards, you can definitely look at his passing touchdowns. It's at 1.5. He's done nothing but hit this all of his last 5 games. I think he'll have a good chance hitting that again today. And the last prop I have here is we're going to the rushing attempts prop. And there's a lot of good Josh Jacobs props out there. Taking over 20.5 rushing attempts. They've leaned on Josh Jacobs heavily this year. Last week he played 75% of the snaps. Week before that he played 79. There's a great chance that they'll be leading this game in the second half, running the ball more. So as long as they're not up by like 30 and all the starters are sitting, Josh Jacobs in the game, late in the game, they should be handing it off to him, burning the clock. This could be pretty easy hit, I'd say, if you're not wanting to go with the other props like the receiving yards or rushing yards, or rushing and receiving yards or anything like that. I think you can take his rushing attempts, and I definitely think he'll hit the over because you're using Abdullah in some like passing situations, not really giving him a ton of carries, so it's mostly all going to be Josh Jacobs there. So that's what I got for this showdown on Thursday night between the Raiders and the Rams. Derek Carr over 247.5 passing yards, Devontae Adams over 89.5 receiving yards, Cam Akers over 44.5 rushing yards, and Josh Jacobs 20.5 rushing attempts. Field goals made. If you wanted to add a few more, maybe look to Matt Gay over 1.5, or like Carlson over 7.5. Kicking points if you think that the Raiders will put up some points, which I definitely do. But ultimately, those are the four that I feel the best about. I definitely think that the Raiders will roll this game. But best of luck. Thank you for watching. Leave any questions in the comments below, and I will catch you all next time.